Right, bro. Which one of these statements makes the most logical sense to you? And one of them you've probably heard before. Statement one is eat your veg and you'll get big and strong. Statement number two is eat your meat and you'll get big and strong. So you've probably heard one of these growing up, and it's something we repeat, like an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Fruit and veg is good for you. You got to get your five. You got to get your five a day. So these are things that we repeat and we just know are true, right? We just assume that they're right. And I was just thinking about this today because I've been going down the carnivore rabbit hole. Anything that I can use to give me more conviction, the better. If you can affirm something that you're going to believe, then it's always good. So I was just thinking about it. I was thinking, right, you've got to eat your veg. Actually, no, this is what did it. Somebody said it to me. I was just having a conversation. They might have said it to their kid or something. I can't remember where it was, but they said, you've got to eat your veg. It'll make you big and strong. And I thought about it logically, and it doesn't actually make any sense. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and this is just a thing parents tell their children to make them eat the veg because kids don't want to eat veg. But if that's the case, then why are you making your kid eat the veg if it's not the thing that's going to make him big and strong? Like, you must believe that it's going to make them big and strong, otherwise you wouldn't get them to eat it. So first of all, I think the fact that you have to tell them to eat it and persuade them in a way like it'll make them big and strong is because they naturally don't want to eat it. And if they naturally want to eat the meat that's on their plate and not the veg, then surely that's got to tell you something. But anyway, I was thinking about this logically. Broccoli has, in 100 grams of broccoli, it has 33 calories. In 100 grams of 30% beef mince, it has 330 calories. So that's 10 times the amount of calories. So just from an energy standpoint, beef or meat has 10 times the energy than veg. So if you're a human trying to survive, if you're an organism that needs energy to live, the beef is 10 times better. Now the argument is probably that the broccoli has a lot of nutrition in it, but it doesn't make much sense to me that a plant with 10 times less calories in it is going to have more nutrition. So surely the thing with more energy is also going to have more nutrition, and it'll be more nutrient dense. And if you think of it from a satiety point of view, if you eat the broccoli and then you're hungry afterwards, it's because it didn't have any energy in it. So the fatty meat, by virtue of being 10 times more nutrient dense or 10 times more calorically dense, you feel full, so you don't feel as hungry. So this just kind of clicked in place for me. The whole mantra of eat your veg, it'll make you big and strong, makes absolutely no sense to me. Eat meat, it'll make you big and strong. So there seems to have been an attack on meat consumption, and I can't really figure out why. And the more I go down the rabbit hole, the more I realise it's a distraction and it's not true. So there's these myths like red meat causes cancer. Why would red meat cause cancer? If you think about it logically, I was thinking, what did our ancestors eat, right? And I'm from England, so that's Northern Hemisphere, and it's a polar region, so the ground freezes in the winter. So I was just thinking about this, and I was thinking, my ancestors probably would have eaten meat, eggs, milk. These are things that would have been available all year round, because you can have cattle all year round, chickens will produce eggs all year round. I'm no farmer, so correct me if I'm wrong, but so these things are going to sustain you all year round. And then I was thinking about, when are apples on trees? There's only like a 2 or 3 month period where apples are actually in season on the trees. And then you take other fruits. There's probably a 6-month period throughout the summer when you can actually get these carbs and these fruits and vegetables. Now veg you can get through the winter. But in terms of fruit, you can't get those all year round. And from my experience, eating carbs creates hunger. and creates like an addictive food behaviour. So if you struggle with overeating, chances are it's because you're eating too many carbs, and the solution is a ketogenic diet. So that's removing all carbs from your diet. And this makes sense to me. If you've been surviving all winter on meat and eggs and milk, because that's the things that are available, and minimal fruit and veg, when summer comes, it makes sense that your body is going to become addicted to sugar, because it's saying there's a lot of energy in this apple that's on the tree, and it's only on the tree for a 2-month period, so you better eat all the apples while they're there. And then there's a built-in mechanism to stop you overeating, which is the apples aren't on the tree for the other 8 months of the year. So this has all kind of just been clicking into place for me, that especially my heritage, my ancestors probably would have eaten meat and dairy for long periods, and then fruit in season. And if you think of the last time you ate fruit and veg in season, we don't do that. So if you've got goals for body recomposition, which is get big and strong and lose body fat, then to me eating veg doesn't seem the optimal way of doing it. Now, when you think about what our ancestors would have eaten, it's kind of like a necessity thing. Maybe there were times when they didn't have access to meat or whatever it happened to be, but we have access to pretty much whatever we choose now, so we might as well choose the optimal thing. And to me it just seems that meat is going to be the optimal thing, because it's got a built-in satiety mechanism, which means you don't overeat it because it hasn't got carbs in. It's 10 times more energy dense than veg, and to me logically it would seem like it would be more nutrient dense. It's more bioavailable because it doesn't have defense chemicals like the plants do. So I've completely come to the conclusion, and this has been a long time coming. I've been looking into diet and really trying to figure this out for a long time, and my conclusion is carnivore for the majority of the time. And because our ancestors weren't living optimally, they were just living with the seasons, we now have the choice. You can have a banana in the dead of winter, that's a choice. So if you want to be optimal, and optimal is building muscle while maintaining a low body fat, that's kind of like the desire. You want 12% body fat and be as muscular as possible in a functional way, so you're healthy and you've got longevity. Going too over the top with it like a big bodybuilder seems a bit pointless to me, and being skinny and weak is also anti-survival. So we can choose to take the positives from what our ancestors would have eaten and then add in whatever is optimal for us. So for me, as far as I can tell, optimal is a carnivore diet the majority of the time, and that's going to help you strip body fat, and then add in fruit as a carb source, which will help with building muscle. Now you can build muscle with just fat and protein, but I think because of glycogen stores and the way it stores water, it can be beneficial, because muscle is 70% water. So, and a carbohydrate, the suffix of that is hydrate, so it helps store water in the muscle. So that's my conclusion. Carnivore 90% of the time, and then add carbs in the form of fruit 10% of the time. But it was just something that's kind of clicking for me. These common knowledge things, like eat your veg and it'll make you big and strong, yeah, maybe if there's a scarcity of meat. But from my experience, if it's a choice between a fatty cut of meat and some kale, I think the meat is going to be your best option for a body recomposition, longevity and health. And the whole notion that red meat causes cancer just doesn't seem logical to me. And the other thing with meat, ruminant animals have rumens, so they have stomachs that are designed to ferment whatever they're eating, which is, for like a cow, is grass. They're like a factory to take nutrition out of grass and turn it into meat. And we don't have rumens, so we can't eat grass. And I think we probably shouldn't be eating veg either. So that's just my conclusion. So yeah, red meat causing cancer. I just can't get my head around that. Why would it cause cancer? don't make any sense. And they're doing cancer research. Every year, millions of pounds or millions of dollars goes to cancer research, and the cancer rate keeps going up. So whatever they think causes cancer, I don't know. Anyway, do your own research, boys, but that's the conclusion I've come to. I've been on carnivore now, or a combination of carnivore and meat and fruit, for over a year, and it's the best I've ever felt. I don't eat veg ever, so yeah, that's my own research. Let me know what you think. Does veg make you big and strong, or does meat make you big and strong? God, I'm in a bit of a forest here, boys.